Welcome back to my channel, guys, and today we're gonna be learning about operators in C programming. So there are different types of operators which are used in C programming. Some of them are less than, or equal to, greater or greater to equal to, and etc. etc. So we're gonna be learning about the operators which are mostly used, and I will make sure that I cover all of them. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna be learning about the relational operator. Okay, relational operator are those which determines the relationship between two different operands. Okay, so let's start. So as you can see here on my screen, I have integer a and integer b. The value of a is 2 and the value of b is 3. So now to check whether like the value of a is greater or the value of b is greater, I need to use operators here. Okay, so I'm gonna use a statement which is called as if statement. So now just type in if and then the brackets. So I will type if, and inside the bracket if. The word if itself means that whether, right? So you can think like whether a is greater, the sign greater, than b. If this statement is true, then I want to print a is greater. Okay, so now if this condition is true, the program will print that a is greater. So what if this condition is false? What if b is the greater? So for that also we can set a block of code. I will set else if. Okay, so first of all, the statement of if would be started with the if only, if statement only. Okay, and when later you need to type another statement, you need to include else if. Okay, and else if means that if that condition isn't true, then the next condition would be checked. Okay, and now I will type in else if b is greater than a. I want to print out printf b is greater. Okay, that's it. We have two conditions. First one is for while the a is greater than b, and the second one is while b is greater than a. So now what I will do here is that now I will type in getch to hold my screen, and then the final bracket of the void main. Let's run it. Okay, let's first of all clear the screen over here, clear SCR so we don't get the previous output. And now you can see here b is greater and the program is true, right? Because the value of b is 3. And now I can set here the value of a as 4, then a is greater. So this was easy, quite easy, right? And now next thing what we can do is that we can type here equals to as well. Okay, but the equals to would be here after the sign. Alright, so equals to means that let me write another block of code. So now just see the code here. B is greater or the sign equals to a, right? So that means b is greater or equals to a if the condition is like this. Now see the value over here, a has the value 4, and now I'm gonna make the value of b is 4 as well. And now you can see over here, when I run the program, it will print b is greater or equals to a, and the condition is true over here because b is greater and is equals to a as well. So I guess you must have understand this is the simplest example that I can give you. And now let's pass to equality operators. Let's learn that now. And in equality operators we have basically two operators. Okay, they are equals to or not equals to. So let me write the program quickly. Okay, now so as you can see here, I have written the program, and we have a as the value 4 and b as the value 3, right? And so while using if, we are testing what if a is equals to b. Okay, that makes sense, right? If a is equal to b, I want you to print out a is equal to b. That means if the value of a is 4 and if the value of b is 4, then this condition is true, right? This condition means that, right? So you must have understood this one. And now the next one says that if a is not equal to b, then I want to print. So while a is not equal to b, I want you to print a is not equal to b. So this sign over here means that not. This sign means not. So you can see if a is not equal to b, then this condition would be true, right? So now as you can see over here, the value of a is 4 and the value of b is 3. So you can you can clearly see that a is not equal to b. This condition is true. So when I just run the program, I'll get the output a is not equal to b, right? So when I make b equal to a, then the upper condition would be true, a is equal to b, right? So you must have understood this too as well. And now let's proceed to logical operators. Let me write the program quickly. Okay, so as you can see over here, I have now 3 variables, and the first one says the value of a is 4, and the second one says the value of b is 4, and the third one says the value of c is 5. So just see over here, just see this. If a is greater than b, and you might wondering what this is. Okay, this is the sign or. Okay, that means That means like if A is greater than B or A is greater than C, I want to print out A is greatest. This is funny, but that's what I have done. Okay, now as you can see over here, the value of A is not greater than B, right? So this is false, and the value of A is not greater than C as well. This is false. So A is the greatest would not be printed on your screen. I'm doing this because I'm doing I'm giving you this example because you will remember with this example. You will know what the program and what the equality test are trying to say, what the operators are trying to say. This is a little hard example, but you will understand it. I will teach you. And now you can see over here, else if B is greater than A. So that is true, right? This statement over here is true. And or B is greater than C. So is B greater than C? No, right? So we have one true condition and another one false. And this operator means or. Whether this condition must be true or this condition must be true. Okay, so now as you can see over here, we have if C is greater than A or C is greater than B. Now let's run the program and now let's just see the output. It says B is the greatest, right? So why is it saying that B is the greatest? Why isn't it saying C is the greatest? Because what happens is that first of all the code comes here, right? The code compilation comes here and it checks both the conditions are false. Okay, so this is not true, so it just leaves this part and it goes to here and now checks here and it finds out that this condition is true. Okay, so that's why it prints this. I think you must have got my point. It prints this, and the work of that if conditions finishes there. It doesn't goes to this condition and doesn't check this because this condition over here has been trued, right? And now I can do another test, and that is called as AND. This means double AND. Okay, this means if A is greater than B and A is greater than C. If both conditions are true, then I want you to print this. And similarly here, if both conditions are true, I want you to print this, printf. And if both conditions are true, I want you to print this. Okay, so where are the both conditions true? In C, right? C is greater than A and C is greater than B. So you'll get C is the greatest. So you might have understood this one as well. And the next one is I guess we are done. Yeah, I have already taught you the NOT operator as well. We have done. Okay, so these were some of the operators in C programming, and there is another operator called as arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators I have already taught you in the previous series of my C programming video, in the previous video, sorry. I have already taught you, and you can see that, and you might have understood these all operators. So I want you to just practice these all, and you might have understood the if statement as well. So bye bye guys, hope you have a nice day. Thank you for watching the video.